Well. How the turntables. Well, plot twist. I am already in Sweden. We moved in the thick of the night. No, but really, me and my husband, we moved back to Sweden. Well, we're not staying in Sweden, but currently we are in Sweden. I have no idea how this looks. I have my small viewfinder again. I do not have any studio lights. This is actually filmed in natural daylight. I have no idea how this is going to be. I'm literally in my mother-in-law's attic, and I need to wet a sponge that is not clean. Listen, a lot of things are up in the air right now, okay? No judgments. Okay, you know what? A little bit of judgment. But I'm here with my morning coffee, and let me tell you about the time that me and my husband picked up our lives and moved from the US back to Europe. Because that's been going on, of course, behind the scenes. I've been alluding to the fact that something's been going on behind the scenes, that there's something big coming. And I want to let you know why we moved now, what's been going on, what's the next step. But I also want to talk about like boundaries, because I do not want to share everything, because that's not the kind of person I want to be anymore. I've always been like an open book, but I've realized that that's only come back and bit me in my own ass, because people will take information that you give them and they will construe it, use it against you. And I want to be more mindful about my privacy. Oh my God, look at how dark it is now. The sun went into the cloud. Yeah, this is the life you're gonna live with now. Is there anything I can put on here? I don't think so. I think this is it, y'all. This is it. It's gonna be like this. And of course we have our dogs with us, but let me go with my sponge. I'm already talking too much. But before we get into the story about how we moved from the US, I do want to take a minute to thank today's sponsor, which is Skims. I'm so excited to have Skims back on my channel. Skims has quickly become a favorite for me, and I use the pieces I have from Skims all the time. I wash them, dry them, use them again, wash them, dry them. The quality is amazing, and the fit, the quality, the feel of them have not changed at all during the time that I've been using it. The pieces that I'm going to be showing you today is from the Skims Fits Everybody line, which has such a beautiful, like soft, velvety feeling fabric that has the perfect amount of stretch to it. Keeps you in place, keeps everything secure, but doesn't flatten you. It's like flattering, but also support. Because I am a little bit more of a big-chested girl, and I do need a little bit of support. And one thing that I really love about Skims is that they have so many different sizes. And I don't know about you, but I sometimes have a hard time finding the right kind of underwear for my size. And with Skims, not only do they have a lot of sizes, they're also very true to size. And I love that I'm able to look through their underwear and find my size in a bunch of different things. No longer am I forced to pick the one that comes in my size. I can pick and choose as well and get cute things that are not just comfortable and supporting, but also cute. You know, we want to look cute. You know that I've talked about before the Fits Everybody Scoop Bralette from Skims. I've been using this quite a lot, and this is the one that I traveled here in. Like, it's supportive, it's comfortable, it looks beautiful, it just gives you the perfect kind of lift and support to your chest area, but also doesn't flatten you. Like, nobody wants that. We want it to be like flattering and cute, but also support. But sometimes I love a little underwire moment. I just think underwire that doesn't have like the padding on the cup is just such a flattering, comfortable, and just supportive way of doing bras. And the Fits Everybody bra that has the underwire and the little lacing is just so cute, so supportive, so soft, and so comfortable. I can wear this all day, and no longer is the first thing I think about when I come home to take my bra off. This one I can wear at home, both this one and the bralette. Super comfortable, very supportive, and again, comes in so many different sizes and also in a lot of different colors. If you want to do like me and go for a contrasting color, or if you want to get something that meshes in with your skin color. And of course, the bras and bralettes comes with matching underwear as well. I don't know about you, but I love a good matching set, and also great quality. Same soft, velvety fabric that just feels wonderful on your skin, but also looks great under clothes. And also, again, washes beautifully. I've been wearing these pieces so many times. I've washed them so many times, dry them, they look exactly the same. I've been telling everyone about Skims and how comfortable they are and how well they fit and how well they wash and dry and wear again. So definitely check them out down below. I will leave a link down in my description box. Remember, when you place your order with Skims, don't forget to let them know that I sent you. There's going to be a survey at the end where you can choose YouTube and then my name, Angelica, in the drop down menu, so they know that I sent you. Don't forget to check them out in the link down below. They have so many different cool things to choose from. I have a couple of more things heading my way and I'm so excited to try out even more pieces. Thank you so much, Skims, for sponsoring another video on my channel. Now let's get into the story time about me moving back to Europe. I turned on the light in the background. You can't see anything. Yeah, that didn't help at all. But yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I'm gonna be using mostly like oldies but goodies, using the NYX foundation. I actually do have the new Essence concealer that I bought just before we moved from the US, and I also have the new Old Soul by Glaminatrix. I don't know if I'll be able to do any swatches right now. Do I have a mirror? Does this have a mirror? Oh my god, I don't have a mirror. I don't have studio lights. Oh, this one has some kind of a mirror. I don't have a mirror. I don't have studio lights. I don't have any of that fancy stuff anymore. I got rid of all of that before we moved. We have known that we were going to be moving for... My god, it's dark over there. Let me see if there's anything I can do about that. Hold. I don't think that did anything. Wow, this is... Yeah. See, this is the thing about natural daylight, that you can't control it. So it just kind of... It is what it is. But yeah, we have known for a while that we were going to be moving. I kind of want a smaller mirror than this. We moved to the US at the end of 2021. And we were going to stay until after summer this year, 2026. My husband is a scientist. He was doing his postdoc in the US. And if you didn't know, without making this political, the current sitting president in the US is not the biggest fan of science, okay? He is not team science. So he has been slowly but surely, maybe not so slowly, but surely for sure, been cutting funding to a lot of science. And a lot of scientists right now that have gone to the US from Europe or other places of the world have either lost their funding or lost their hope or lost their visas and are now heading back, and Ricardo is one of them. So we got a big change coming in end of last year, and we kind of decided that, like, you know what, we could have stayed because we did have valid visas and we could have stayed, but we were like, you know what, this is as good as time as any to leave. Because also, again, without being too political, oh, sun's coming back, sitting president, also not a fan of immigrants. And that's what we were. We were immigrants. I hate, with the burning passion of 1,000 suns, when people call it expats or digital nomads. I'm like, you're an immigrant. Okay, everybody calm down. So we also have realized that some of the rights that we have had have kind of been taken away. And I don't want to live in a country, again, regardless of political status, where I am afraid to speak my mind because my visa might be revoked. Because that has happened to some people in my husband's field. They have had valid visas, they have been from European countries, they have said something where they didn't agree with the government, and their visas were revoked. And they got kicked out of the country. And when they do get kicked out of the country, unfortunately, the government do not care about your stuff, your pets, your money, your convenience, and I couldn't risk A, my husband's career, and B, our dogs. One of our dogs is right here. I don't think you can see her. Oh, she's on the bed here. I think you can see her. So of course we brought the dogs here. So when everything went down and when he cut even more funding to science, we literally just sat down over a bottle of wine and we were like, so what are our options? What are we going to do? And we kind of decided before the wine was over that we were going to start the process of going back to Europe. I wonder how my makeup is gonna look because I feel like I can't see anything. I did my makeup the other day and I was using the new palette from Rare Beauty, the little neutral one, and it turned out really, really good. Oh my gosh, this is rough, y'all. Tesla, you the bestest boy in the world. But of course, going back to Europe is quite the endeavor. I bought this concealer in the shade 120. I bought it in Ulta. I went to Ulta. Oh my god, quick story. I went to Ulta because I was like, I think I have points that I haven't used. And I went there and the lady at Ulta, she's like, dang, you do have points to use. You have more points than like our scale allows us to use. So I made a $250 shopping spree at Ulta with my points before I left. And I bought a fragrance and I bought this concealer. I bought just some hair products. I bought my husband's favorite SPF because it is an expensive one. It's the one from, it's the mattifying one from, I can't remember. Now I feel bad. I'll try and, if I can remember, I'll try and put a picture in. If I forget, don't be mad at me. But yeah, I just used those points and got some stuff. And I got this concealer because I've been hearing at the, what is it, the Beautiful and Bothered. I had to go in. The Beautiful and Bothered podcast have said that they really love this concealer. And I will say, I love watching their podcast, but we disagree on so many things about makeup. But I thought I'd give it a chance because they really liked it. But oh my god, some of their like least favorite products is some of my most favorite products. But I still like, I believe that they're telling their truth. And I find it so like fascinating and interesting to hear, you know, how people can have such differing opinions about products. Because again, I believe them when they say they hate a product or like a product. I just don't always agree. That does look good, but it's maybe a little thicker than the kind of concealers that I go for. So anyways, when we had started to decide like, oh, we're moving back to Europe. So here's the problem. I say Europe and Sweden interchangeably, but you know that my dream has never been to move back to Sweden. We never really... Have I said that? Now that I'm thinking about it, did I ever say that? So my dream is not to move back to Sweden. Not because I hate Sweden. I love Sweden. I think Sweden is a great country. But if there's one thing that I have learned by being in a warmer climate, a little over 4 years, it is that part of my... depression, definitely, because I've been dealing with clinical depression for basically my entire adult life, is definitely tied to the weather. Not necessarily seasonal, but the darkness, or maybe that is the seasonal one. Like, I don't like, but even if it's like rainy for like 3 weeks in the summer, that gets to me too. But nice weather really makes me happy. And I realized, and my husband really doesn't like the cold or the dark either, so we both said like we want to live somewhere that has similar society to Sweden, but just a little bit warmer. So when we decided to move from the US, where are you going, baby? I don't trust you as far as I can throw you, which is not very far. When we decided to move from the US, we didn't know where to move. That's why I'm saying we're moving back to Europe, because we still, as I'm sitting here right now, don't have anywhere to move. But that is of course the next step. And I don't really, again, want to talk about the next step. There are some things that I don't want to talk about, like, because I feel like it's a personal thing. I kind of want to keep it to myself. I will never be mysterious, because again, I suffer from the disease of wanting to be an open book, but I definitely don't want to share everything. I don't know how advanced this makeup is going to be, because I do suffer from not having a big mirror. Okay, let me tell you that. It is not easy doing my makeup without having a proper mirror. But we packed up all of our stuff, so we did ship. Well, technically we haven't shipped anything yet, but we shipped my makeup and some of our clothes in bags, boxes, and those are going via air here to Sweden, because we are currently at my husband's mother-in-law. Yes, we are in her attic, living our best lives, just having a layover here before we figure out where we're going next, which we are starting to figure out, and we're actually taking the next steps this week. And we shipped up all the other things and we put them in a shipping container, and that is getting shipped via freight, so on a boat across the Atlantic, but to our final address, which we at this current moment do not have, because we don't know where we're moving. So we now have a little bit of time. It's in, I was gonna say custody. It's in custody, it's not in custody. What is it? It's like in storage. Oh my god, Americans love storage. Americans love like the storage units. That's something that you don't see here in Europe. So they're in storage right now, and it's going to be shipped as soon as we can provide them with our final address. We just need to figure out our final address. Did you see my pan, by the way? Ah, look at that. Look at that. So yeah, right now everything is, I was going to say a little bit up in the air. It's very much up in the air. Can I maybe try this mirror from the old Soul, because it is bigger, but my eyeshadow palette came a little bit broken, so I'm afraid that it's gonna like fall out. Maybe I'm fine. And people ask me like, oh, what are you gonna miss with the US once you move? I don't know, because I will say I didn't know what I was gonna miss about like Sweden and about Europe before after we had been in the US for a bit, because like one of the things that I miss the most is the walkability. But I wouldn't have been able to peg that as like that's one of the things if I hadn't been in the US for a bit and realized, oh yeah, my neck is very light. If I haven't been able to pin that as like, oh, that is something that really isn't a thing in the US, like walkability, it's just not a thing. And I missed that, and it made me realize that that's something I want. Not currently matching, but that is what it is. And that is something that I truly have been missing, and I am looking forward. And that's something that I told Ricardo as well when we were starting to look like where we want to be, like what we want to work with, like what do you want to do for the rest of your life. That's literally where me and Ricardo have been lately. It's been like, so what do you want to do for the rest of your life? And it's been really fun to just be like, so where do you want to be for the rest of your life? It's been exhilarating, because again, we don't, oh, I don't need to pluck my brows, because this is my natural brows. People are like, oh, you should just let them grow out. That's this. This is my brows grown out. There's nothing going on. I've always had thin brows. But I do have like 1 or 3, like rogue ones. I see them here that I probably should pluck, but not today. It's not happening today. But not having kids and being flexible has allowed us to think about like where we want to live differently. We can think about like different things. So honestly, we have been like, so where would you like to live? My husband, like I said, he's been in academia for a really long time. And again, I'm not gonna be talking about my husband's work or his like privacy or what he wants to do, because I don't think that that's anyone's business. I feel like I'm so light. This lighting is so off. I'm sorry about that, but I don't have a monitor and everything is just like I said, it's crazy here, okay? We are back to YouTube 2015, where people were just like getting on with what they had. My first videos on YouTube 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, was so bad lighting and so bad colors. I was literally gray. I was gray. It was so bad. But yeah, I don't want to talk about what my husband wants to do, but he has an idea of what he wants to do. And we are exploring those options, because again, I have said that I don't want to do YouTube full time. I would, of course, I have Cinch, and right now I'm of course, like I love Cinch. I have so many plans for the future, so many plans that I want to do, and so many things that I would like to explore with Cinch. And there are so many things happening in the near future for Cinch as well. So that's gonna probably take up more of my time in like at least 2026. But I would also like to do something else. And that's the part that I probably will not talk about on YouTube, because again, I would like to have some of the pages of my open book maybe be not as open, closed ones, because I don't want to talk about everything that's going on in my life, and I don't want to share about everything. But yeah, we were like exploring options, like where we want to be and what we want to do. And I know what I want to do. I want to go back to a slower pace of life. I don't want to be in hustle culture mode. I feel like the life that I want to live right now requires less money, if I'm gonna be honest. And there's no need for me to be in hustle culture. And also, cost of living in Europe is lower. I know, and I've met so many Americans that are like, oh, aren't you afraid to move back to Europe where everything is more expensive? And I need you to hold my hand when I say this. That is just not the case. Now, after living 30 plus years in Sweden and living almost like 4.5 years in the US, I cannot begin to explain to you how much more money you need to live in the US. And I'm not even saying that, of course, you make more money in the US as well, because the paychecks are higher. But even with the higher paycheck, it's just, it doesn't compare, because again, my husband had a much bigger paycheck in the US compared to Sweden, but yet there's no way he could have lived the same life he had in Sweden in the US without me. There's just no way. There's no way, because everything is so expensive. And it's like so many like hidden extra costs, and all the insurances. Insurances in the US are bananas. And I'm not even just talking about health insurance. Everything is just so expensive, and then it doesn't cover anything. And it's so different. So different. Oh, for gas is less expensive in the US. So we'll probably be driving a less car when we're here. But I look forward to that, because I don't like driving in a car, and I don't like being in a car. But yeah, I look forward to slower pace of life, and I look forward to, I don't want to say a simpler way of life, but I just don't want to, in the US, even though I have never had to worry about money while I was in the US. I already made good money before I moved to the US. That had nothing to do with the US. I was doing fine. I have never been a single day in the US without not worrying about money, but thinking about money. There's not been a single day with me in the US not thinking about money. Everybody's talking about money. Everybody's talking about insurances and investments and all the retirement and the bank accounts and the high yield. Everybody is always focusing on money all of the time, and I am not used to that. We don't talk about money like that in Sweden. People don't worry or obsess about money in that way. And I understand why Americans do it, because again, like I told you, cost of living is just crazy in the US. And at any point, something can come in from left field and you just better have a solution for it. So I get it. But I miss not having to think about money all the time. And I think that is one of the things that I look forward to. I look forward to having several days in a row where I didn't think about that. I don't want to think. Life is not that. I don't want to have to think about that. Let me fix my brows. And I know people are going to ask. Of course, you saw Kaisa. Both Kaisa and Tesla were here in the background. We brought Kaisa and Tesla. You can hire a dog moving, almost like a travel agency. And you leave the dogs with them, and they make sure that they get food, medication, that they get walked in between flights, and they take them from point A to point B. So we left them in Texas and picked them up in Stockholm, and they were super fine and super healthy. We had really, really nice people helping them along the way. It's very expensive, very expensive. I think I paid $4,000 per dog. But again, it is the safest and least stress-free way of traveling, moving your pets. So again, it's not their fault that we're moving. So I want to give them the best experience possible. And they both seem to be as stress-free as you can be after something like that. So I will say, moving big pets, that's the most expensive part, for sure. But also, they deserve the best. And they are here. Of course, we brought them. If we still had the cats, I will bring them too. Oh my god, there's not a day that I don't miss my cats. I know I've talked about that before, but unfortunately our cats have passed. I miss them all the time. All the time. They were the bestest cats, and I miss them all the time. You see the sun is starting to come out? Ooh, this is also one of the things that are not great with filming in daylight, that the sun, kind of moves. Or actually, the sun doesn't move. We move. I put on Optimistic Oak, and I'm going to do a little bit of the Beverly Drive, the Colourpop oil. I love these lip oils, but this packaging is not great. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. So let me put on a little bit of lip oil. So of course, like filming and everything is going to be very much up in the air until we have it up where we actually want to end up, which shouldn't take that long. Like it shouldn't take that long. We have an idea. We are traveling somewhere to look at places very soon, probably the week that this is going up, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. Ricardo's mom has 5 dogs, so there is a lot of dogs here. She really loves her dogs, so there's a lot of dogs here, which is great for our dogs. They're having so many playmates and everybody's getting along so well, and she lives literally on the countryside in a forest. So everybody is like, the dogs are having a great time here. But yeah, I think probably the week that you're seeing this, we are, oh my God, we are leaving to the place that we are kind of deciding on, and we are going to be looking at places, and hopefully we will like it. Actually, Ricardo's mom, stepdad, and Ricardo is at the store right now. Oh, actually, before I want to use, I bought a, like I said, this is also one of the things I bought at Ulta. This is the REM, the new highlighter cream blush like hybrid, and this is in Love Spell. And it looks really, really gorgeous. And I kind of want to try this one on. I don't know if I can like paint it on. I have no idea. Is this how I'm supposed to do this? Oh my God. I don't think that this is the right way. No, this is definitely not the way. Or maybe. It actually turned out pretty good. But I do think that like putting on the brush is going to be easier. I don't know if you can hear this, but the dog is like, he is not having it anymore. Oh my God. We'll say. Here's Tesla too. Hi, baby. I will say, her dogs are lovely, but don't tell her, but our dogs are definitely more well-behaved than her dogs. Literally started howling, like, we can't have that. Yeah, people always say, like, oh my God, I wish you would film in, like, natural daylight. I don't know about you, but this is probably way more forgiving. My skin in my viewfinder looks flawless, and my skin is not flawless right now because my skin has definitely been getting some stress breakouts. Natural daylight is so forgiving. Oh my God, your skin just looks amazing. So I don't see myself filming in natural daylight because I like to be the one to control the light, but also I just think it gives a very forgiving version of the light. I know, baby, but you're gonna have to go and lay down. He is locked into something. I'm gonna, oh, I have definitely a dog hair. I'm gonna put a little bit on. Oh, there's dog hairs. Like I said, there's currently 7 dogs in this house. Everything has a dog hair on it. Do not believe anything else for even a second of your life. This formula is really beautiful, but it's kind of lighter than I thought it was gonna be. But I really, really like how this looks. Okay, now that it's warmed up a bit, that worked out. The curse of natural daylight. Yeah, I'm gonna have to finish up because can't have this. What does this mean for my channel and for the future? So, I, of course, given what this is, the attic of my mother-in-law's house, I will not be able to film a lot of videos. It just is not possible. I will try and do to the best of my ability, but it won't be what you are used to it being. It's not possible. I will film some things because I love filming and I love YouTube, but for me, obvious reasons, I'm just not able to film a lot. It's just not possible. And I think, oh my gosh, and I think everybody understands why. I don't think anyone's surprised when they see what I'm dealing with right now. And also because, like I said, I am trying, let's see if I can move some stuff around. I am trying to find a new home right now. I think I'm gonna go in with, oh my God, you see too much. I think I'm gonna go in with some of these berries here, and I don't even know what I want to do. Or do I want to do something neutral because I can't see shit? No, I think I'm gonna do Echo and then the pink here, and I might do Whisper. It seems to be like a blue duochrome topper. I think that will be good. So I'm gonna start with Echo. And again, I need to not take too long because the sun is moving. And for Cinch, I know people are gonna ask, well, are you gonna ship from Europe? Well, I don't even have a home right now, so I am unfortunately not able to ship packages myself right now. At this moment, our products are available on Monolith for European customers if you don't want to buy straight from the website, which, fair. But right now, I'm not able to set up shipping myself. I would never ship myself if we have an apartment either, because I don't think that we will go and buy a house the first thing we do. When we move to a new place, I don't think that that's in the cards for us. I think we're gonna get an apartment somewhere, and we are probably gonna start looking for a house once we are settled in. And also, since we don't 100% know where we're moving. Clearly, we also don't know the place that we decide on. What if we hate it? What if we move there and we hate it? And we're like, this is not the place for us. The vibe is off. I don't like this at all. Of course, I don't want to be tied down with buying a house. So we're definitely going to be renting somewhere, getting a vibe, getting a feel, and then I won't be able to like ship anything myself. I mean, I would like to be able to ship from Europe in the future. That is definitely something that I'm striving to do. Like, I want to be that brand. I want to do that. But I'm just like, let's be realistic here and realize that that is just not happening within the near future. I don't have a home. I don't even have like proper equipment for anything. So it is just not possible right now. But the warehouse, the new we moved to over Christmas, it is still up and running. It will still ship your stuff like normal. And even if I do end up getting shipping from Europe for Cinch, I will still ship Cinch from the US as well. I am gearing up to have a new launch. It will not happen just yet because it is in production, and I'm hoping also at the same time as I do that, I'm really hoping that we'll also be able to restock Paisley Hood, because that one is also in production. I mean, Glaminatrix never disappoints. So beautiful. I'm pretty sure you can buy this palette both at the get it shipped from the US, or you can get it shipped from Australia, and you can use code Angelica with Glaminatrix and get 10% off. But this one is stunning. I really like how the cheeks turned out. That is absolutely stunning. But we will be having a new launch with Cinch, not too far in the future, but again, everything just takes so much longer than I expect. But I have so many fun things planned for the brand, and there will be a new launch soon-ish. I'm really hoping I have somewhat of a studio to film in when that is happening, but nobody hold their breath because I might not. This is the pink. Ooh, that is so pretty. But I'm hoping that I will have somewhat of a studio to film in when that is happening, because I am really proud of the thing that is in production now. I love it so much, and everyone that I have shown this to, friends, creators, my husband, his friends, other indie brand owners, everybody says, oh boy, this is my favorite so far. So I am very excited that people seem to agree that they like what's coming next, and I cannot wait to show you. And I really hope that I'll be able to, like, you know, be in a space where I can film something when it's happening. Otherwise, you know what, we're just gonna have to do the best that we can. Listen, sometimes we can't control what is going on around us. It's not like we, again, plan to move in the beginning of the year. We were planning to move after summer, but the government had different plans. So we just thought, you know what? YOLO, let's just leave. That is looking really beautiful, but again, I do think that the natural daylight is just blowing it out a little bit, but it is what it is. I kind of want to do, there is one that's called Linger, and it's like an almost white, and I think I'm doing a very Angie look here, but it's because, oh my god, there's definitely some crusties here. But that is because again, I don't have everything with me. The setup is a little bit weird, and I do need to be holding the mirror with my hand at all times, so we're gonna make it as easy as we can. For me, for my sanity. So I'm putting a little bit of that here. These mats are stunning. Glaminatrix, you did such a good job. I also don't know about PR, if I'm gonna be receiving a lot of PR. I might not be, for the foreseeable future, I might not be the person who reviews a lot of new things, which, fair. I mean, most mainstream brands will not ship anything to me here in Europe. Like, they won't. All the brands that have been shipping stuff to me, they just won't. Indie brands might, but the mainstream brands, they won't. So I've been getting like NARS and One Size and Lawless and brands like that. they just will not ship here, which is fine. Like, it is what it is. But it also means that either I'm gonna have to buy the stuff myself, which I have no problem with. I mean, a lot of these brands are, I mean, Sephora is, after all, a European brand. So I don't have no problem buying it myself, but it all depends on like where I end up and how accessible things are. But I don't mind going back to being an indie channel. I don't mind that at all. This looks incredible. Oh my god, the sun is literally here. Ah! So I'm gonna do Whisper. Oh, that, I don't know if you can see it, but that looks so incredible. There's a lace curtain here, and can you see that? The lace, oh, it's so beautiful. So I'm gonna do this. Oh, that is perfect. Oh, that is so perfect. It is like a baby blue, iridescent, very intense shadow. I mean, in a way, I wish I could have just like, you know, asked you like, what do you want to know? But also that would like have me having to like talk to you and kind of admit that I moved. And one of the things that I didn't want to do was kind of like, I wanted to move at my own pace. I wanted to move and not have to think about like, what are people gonna say? I didn't want to have anyone's feedback on me moving. I didn't want people to know. I kept pre-filming videos and I sent it to my editor and I called it a decoy because I kind of wanted to just deal with this at my own pace. And I wanted to sit with my thoughts and just be like, because I'm 42 years old and moving up my entire household, my, you know, family members, dogs are family members too, all of my things, and just moving and not knowing where, I will say it does mess with your mind. And I have been feeling overwhelmed, and I didn't want to have to deal with answering to comments from the internet as well. So I am very grateful to myself that I did it this way, because now I've been able to do it for me, for us. And when I felt ready, I could sit down and have this discussion and talk about it. But oh my god, it's so messy behind me. I've never been more happy in my life that I have this very expensive lens that makes my background blurry, because you don't need to see what's going on here, okay? I had to move even more because the sun is out. The sun is out for sure, but the look is finished. I did, of course, put a little prance in my waterline. I really love this makeup look, and I mean, Glaminatrix, per usual, did a really great job with this palette, the Old Soul. This is the newest palette. It's absolutely stunning. And I know that I probably did not answer everyone's questions that you had about like moving, and maybe I can do that in the future. Maybe I can sit down and answer some of your questions. But just, I have gotten in the past people saying, we deserve to know. I have been here this long. I deserve answers. And I just want everyone to know that I will not be sharing stuff that I don't feel like sharing, because this is my life. This is not a reality show. This is not a sitcom. This is my life. And there are some things that I don't think I will be wanting to share in the future. And I hope everyone is okay with that. We are moving to a different country. We are not staying in Sweden. We're moving to a different country. And I will, of course, tell you like where we're moving. But I think I will be keeping some things to myself in the future. Will I be uploading more in March? At least one more video. I do want to film at least one more video because I do love filming. But this, as you could realize, I mean, I'm literally half in the sun. It's not the most ideal place to be filming. But of course, when I move, I will have a studio again. Maybe not as big as I had before, because again, I do want this to be a little bit more, you know, off the cuff, a little bit fun. But I did enjoy this video, and I wanted to let you know that we literally moved from the US. We're back in Europe, and I'm doing fine. Everybody is doing fine, and we are planning and plotting for the next stages in our life. If you do have any questions, let me know down below, and I can gather them up, and maybe I can film like a Q&A about moving or something. I don't know. The ones that I want to answer. And also, thank you so much, Skims, for coming back and sponsoring another video on my channel. I am actually wearing the bra today. It's so comfortable. It's so flattering. I absolutely love wearing the Skims underwear. It's quickly become some of my absolute favorite pieces to wear. So thank you so much for coming back and sponsoring another video. Please check the description box for more info about that. But now I hope you're gonna have a great day. I know that I will, and I will see you soon in a new video.